Hey everybody, Jay Marino here, and welcome back. We're continuing SevenBlood's Exodus of the Horde Revamp. It's the original Exodus of the Horde prologue campaign, except it's revamped. What do you think about that? We're on to Chapter 2, Departures. Let's go. And I think this is the first mission we'll be able to start building stuff and perhaps allocate our perk points. That's my favorite part of these revamp campaigns, are the perk points. They're not just perks, they're not just points. They're perk points. All right, so similar to the Undead campaign revamp, we have a little section here at the start of the map where we can allocate our Horde perks, it appears like. So let's see what this is all about. Melee choices, you can now choose your units and upgrades. Okay, so, interesting. In the, I'll go through each of these, but I just want to make a comment on this. In the original Kalimdor campaign, Invasion of Kalimdor, there was a map where you went through and you chose a specific unit type, like from Legacy of the Void, for example, right? In each map, you choose an individual unit to fill a role, a unit type. So melee unit choice, as opposed to, for example, the Undead campaign, where you had access to everything all the time. For the Orcs, it seems like, again, you have faction roles, and then you pick something for each. So melee unit, we've got the Grunts and the Survivalists, and I'm familiar with these from the last mission. But I like how it specifies what clan they're mostly represented from. I think that's pretty neat. The Survivalists are strange. They do a little more damage, but they have way less survivability. And frankly, when I'm building Grunts, I'm making them specifically to live, and so that my other units can live, to take the damage so other units can. So the Grunts have that ability where you can pay resources individually to upgrade each one. I think that's incredibly strong if you have the resources to spare. And then Survivalists here, they can build that little hut, and then they can build more of themselves. So you can actually build those seemingly pretty fast on the front lines and then build more to kind of keep up some forward momentum. I think that's cool. I think the lumber harvesting is just some fluff, and I'm not really taking that in consideration. They have the ability to restore 100 HP. In a way, you're like, yeah, that's a nice heal in a battle, but even still, if you kind of flop that on top of their 500 HP, it's still less survivability than the normal Grunt. I'm not going to pick anything till we go through everything, and we can kind of have an overall general idea of what we're gonna pick. And this opener is going to be a little longer than usual because, of course, this is our first time checking all this out. It's going to get a little faster each time as fewer and fewer newer things are added in because we've gone over all the stuff that came from missions past. Ranged unit choice. Don't even speak to me about the fact that this is a Dark Troll. Don't even speak to me about it because it looks like... Yeah, so we have Blackrock, Axe Throwers, and... Oh, just Frostwolves. Just actual Frostwolves. Agile Wolf that replaces ranged units and benefits from cavalry upgrades instead. So just our ranged unit turns into a melee unit. Can mark units to be hunted and take increased damage. I like the sound of that. The Axe Throwers, the special ability increases their attack speed by 50%, which is pretty wild. I'll be honest, I like the idea of the Frostwolves, though it's difficult to run pure melee because you're losing a lot of DPS because there's only so much melee surface area that can be covered on each enemy, if that makes sense. Support Caster, Blackrock Shaman, Frostwolf Farseers, transfers buffs and debuffs between allied and enemy units. So this is spell steal, straight up from the Blood Elven units. Earth Shield increases armor and slows attack speed of enemies. Bloodlust increases attack and movement speed. So obviously Bloodlust, always great. Earth Shield sounds good, though I'm going to assume for this mission we won't even have access to that tier of caster. So I'm just going to assume we're only going to have the tier 1 spells. So transferring buffs and debuffs between allied and enemy units. Again, because of where we're at, I assume that there really aren't going to be tons of buffs being thrown out on us. So I can't say that that's too appealing. What about the Farseer? Restores hit points and mana to a friendly unit over time. Can summon friendly Frostwolves with reduced hit points and can be resummoned, so they have a little summon, and then Chain Lightning. I'm leaning towards these Farseers, the Frostwolf Farseers. They do a little more damage, they have a little more HP and survivability, they have some armor, they do cost more, they take longer to train, but I like their spells better, specifically in the context of where we're at in the game, where we're probably only going to have the first tier of spells anyway. Oops, well, you know what? Let's go for it. Grunts? I haven't decided on this ranged unit yet, but probably Axe Throwers, if I'm being honest. Cavalry units? Heavy cavalry warrior that excels at destroying groups of clumped enemies because it has a cleaving attack. It does normal damage as opposed to the normal siege damage of raiders, Blackrock Clan Slayers, Frostwolf Raiders. Okay, so these raiders do siege damage, and they get pillage. Again, this is a mission, though, where I don't expect that we would benefit from pillage really at all, so I would say it seems pretty obvious that we would go Slayers here, so let's do that. Let's see how we can spend our perk points. Unearth some of our hidden resource caches to use supplies within. Start with extra gold and lumber for 2 points. That honestly sounds just great. I really like any boost that we can get right at the beginning. Reinforces our structures with improved supports. 15% increased hit points. You know, maybe for the final mission that's a holdout, that could be okay, but that doesn't seem like it would be great. Definitely going to placehold this caching. I love the idea of having an extra boost. We also have that holdover item that'll give us 250 gold right at the start if we want to pop that. So we can give ourselves +1 attack for melee and ranged for 2 points. Trains our frontliners to be able to take more damage. All infantry and cavalry get 100 extra HP for 3 points. So if we say 2 points here, and the 100 HP is pretty solid. These, I mean, for 2 points, you start with the upgrade, but if you give yourself the boost in resources, assuming, you know, it doesn't take that long to get those upgrades, I feel like these can pretty much always be ignored, unless we have superfluous points, but toughness is fantastic, because that's 100 per unit. Extra mana for casters, extra HP, a significant amount of extra HP per caster. And like 50% increased HP is probably going to result in what? About 170-ish extra hit points for this Farseer. That's pretty significant for 2 points each. Cavalry units gain 75 HP and armor, all cavalry. 25% increased attack speed. What if we went like super beefy cavalry type builds here? Like, for example, we go Frostwolves, so that we have cavalry, Frostwolves, and Slayers. No ranged units. And then we take the caching. We take the toughness for 100 extra HP on the cavalry. So that's 5. And then we take the extra 75 HP in armor. So that's 8 total points. And then we lean into... You know what? I'm going to do that. Frostwolves. Caching. Extra HP on said Frostwolf and Slayer, and then extra HP on said Frostwolf and Slayer. I think it would be kind of neat if those stats were reflected on the units you could select here, just so that you can kind of see what your final loadout is. But again, this is the really fun part. I realize we've been staring at the same thing for now what's been almost 10 minutes, but this is the most fun that I have in Revamp, is being able to allocate our Horde perk points. Start the mission. Here we go.
It's been 3 days and this prophet has yet to show himself. I hope I'm not making a huge mistake by trusting you.
War Chief, the clans are assembling as you ordered, but it will take them some time to reach us.
Then we must prepare this camp immediately. I want my warriors to have food and proper lodgings when they arrive.
Yes, War Chief.
Warrior, has there been any word from Grom Hellscream? He and the Warsong clan were supposed to have been here by now.
No, War Chief. We haven't heard from Hellscream in some time.
Damn it, Grom. Where the hell are you?
Greetings, Field Marshal. The ships from Stormwind have arrived to take the Orcish prisoners into custody. Good. Make sure they have all the help they need while we track down the rest of the brutes. James Raynor. Yes, sir.
You orcs are in violation of the Alliance Internment Act. We've already captured one of your leaders. If you surrender now, we'll spare your lives.
War Chief, they say they've captured one of our leaders. Maybe they're referring to Grom.
I hope not. But if they have captured Hellscream, I'll make them regret it. Loktar Ogar! Come, my warriors! We must drive the humans back!
Hellscream!
Let's get on.
Cool. Pop those gold coins instantly, please, and go ahead and get me some extra guys.
Yes.
Build me a barracks. Skeletons? Oh, dude, they're already attacking us. Let's get down here and try and defend our structures. That's no joke. We're moving out. I already have a barracks. That's nice. I'm going to grab some frost wolves because, again, we started with a ton of extra... stuff. Zap them. What's my challenge? Did my challenge pop up? Have a used food supply of 40 or more at any point. So just build a bunch of stuff. I think we can handle that. Heal me. Okay, wolf guy, get on down here. Horde Banners. I wonder what that is. We gotta destroy their banners, by the way. We're just throwing stuff away here. In most missions, you will have access to powerful secondary heroes at your Ultra of Storms. Revive them so they can join in your fight. Dude, I remember this from, there's our challenge. I remember this from our, Undead version of the game. Hunt. We need cavalry unit adept training. How the heck do we get that? Stronghold instantly, please. And I'm just gonna start building stuff. We need a war mill.
We're under attack.
Where's a good spot for a war mill? Probably up here.
Can't build there.
We lived, and we'll start using these salves. Just kind of get them out of our inventory eventually. I think these frost wolves are going to be quite handy. They do piercing damage, but at melee range. That's quite interesting. Already started building a stronghold again. We started with a surplus of gold. It looks like there are a few other ways out of our base. Like there's this down here, up here, maybe even up here as well. So let's just start looking around and seeing what we can find and making some progress. But we have to be prepared to back up where necessary. I'm going to grab the next level of Gifts of Earth. And then just go ahead and salve yourself again, Mr. Thrall. Dude, and the huts are still hostile to us, so we automatically attack them. Stronghold already done. That actually felt like it finished faster than is usual for this. Gonna get a few more peons on lumber. Increases ranged units. Oh, there's the adept training. And allows them to use their special ability. Of course, of course. Same with, you know, grab both. It's expensive, but again, we gave ourselves a ton of extra money starting out so that we could specialize early and quickly. Zap him. Heal me. And then we can mount him up for a little bit of better mana regeneration on Snowsong. And then go ahead and hit yourself with... Oh, he's poisoned, actually. Don't hit yourself with a heal because you'll end up I think does poison cancel heal over time stuff? Here's some of those Horde Banners. Summons an immovable ward that increases attack damage of nearby units by 20%. That's pretty solid. We got another wooden shield as well. Okay, well that's one area that's just nice and cleaned out for us. Didn't end up having to leave anything on the ground. I would love to get out my other heroes here.
Research complete. Research complete.
Dude, the extra heroes that we got in the Undead campaign were all really, really good. So, especially, the more we level them up, obviously, the better they're going to be. Let's see if we can stack these. Yeah, up to... I don't know how many. I was going to say up to 6, but now we have 6. Increases attack damage by 20%. That's great. Let's keep that in mind. These two... pretty much all of our items, to be fair, are completely replaceable at this point. I don't expect this is going to be super, super duper difficult or anything. Famous last words, but it is indeed, it is the first mission where we can build anything. So let's also go ahead and get our upgrades set up here. Ogres? Okay. I'm sorry, Mr. Wolf. Actually, okay. Oh, they bashed him. And I guess, again, Thrall being a frontliner... I like how it's instant as well. As long as you have the money, you can upgrade those guys, and that's just fantastic. Let's heal here. Drop this. Pop this. And then we can start spreading some items out on our other units as well. Nazgul is melee, so we can give him this stuff. He's strength-based. He's not agility-based. We want to just get all these heroes out so that we can spread these items out. I'll pick everything up though along the way, just so that we can ensure. Dude, we didn't get a wooden shield brought forward to this mission to put on our guy, unfortunately. What other ways can we go?
The spirits are restless.
It's important that we get these units out as well so we can get levels on them. Nazgul dismounts Rhymefang, gaining plus 10 strength and armor, but reducing mana regeneration. He's melee in either case, but he's kind of our tank, so I think we leave him unmounted. Big nuke and a stun, melee Stormbolt basically, catches their second breath, regaining hit points, self-heal, strikes with such force that he damages multiple enemies, so he gets a cleave. Overwhelm is the obvious first choice here. And you know what, I'll grab cleaving attack as well. I think that's acceptable. And then we're steadily getting at our other heroes. And you know what? I'm going to wait for them. I guess we can leave Thrall mounted now because we don't need him to be in the front line tanking damage. We can give Nazgul the parry apt. And who do we have now? That's Samuro. Samuro, come on down and get the other wooden shield. Let's get some more grunts, and then we can specialize them in something. Wooden shield here on Samuro. And 10% increased attack speed and 10 bonus movement speed for 5 seconds whenever they attack stacks up. So he just, as long as he keeps attacking, he's doing extra damage. So let's grab Critical Strike and I guess Windwalk just so that we can run him away as necessary. That's perfectly fine. Up to 100 food, that's pretty normal. Again, I'm just going to wait for all my heroes to get out, because that way we can spread the XP out and make sure that they all have the potential to get full levels here. Nazgul at full health. This is an issue because I leave, you know, only damage health bars on. I wish the hero nameplate still remained, but at the end of the day, that's not a huge deal. Okay, they're back. And they're attacking with a hero now as well, so we're going to have to leave stuff at home while we continue to quest as time goes on. Nazgul, go ahead and hit here. Throw down a fancy schmancy heal, and honestly, poor James Raynor. We're doing great here. My goal is to go ahead and just secure the left side where possible. Poor chicken.
For honor.
Now let's go and secure the left as much as possible. So we've already gotten this. Let's head this way. There's not like, this isn't like a pathway we could take if we destroy the trees or anything. No, it doesn't look like it. Okay, so let's go across this bridge. We saw some gnolls. Yes, Samuro might be the one who struggles the most. Any new grunts? We have to make sure we specialize. Dude, heavy weaponry, honestly, does strike me as the best, like, without a doubt. And then we can go siege damage here as well, just to ensure.
What do you want? Work. I can do that. Yes. Work. Okay.
That we have some siege damage as well. Let's get a bestiary next.
I can do that. Something.
We can get a few extra towers, but I don't want to go super overboard.
I can do that.
And as long as our army is making progress towards the enemy base, we don't have to worry about enemy attacks flanking us or anything like that.
But the Gnoll's camp lies just ahead. Your time has come.
What did we get? Another grunt? I do think, I mean, to be completely fair, I do think that the defendability is a good one, though it's really hard for me to justify negating the opportunity cost of either of the other two. There's another gold mine down here, so we could expand if we really wanted to.
I am the war chief. No regard, no God.
I guess I'll do it. Oh, okay. I guess I should have assumed that I shouldn't have assumed that it would only be Horde units that the Gnolls took captive. This poor guy, dude, behind enemy lines and captured by just another faction. That's bad news. Okay. So we've cleared out this and the Murlocs, so I think we're safe to kind of hang out over here by these. We can break those barrels and see what we can get. And now we have all of our heroes out, so we've got room.
I'm glad you're here.
for
Complete. I'll look into it.
everything. Cavalry unit up training, and let's go and get some Slayers. I researched the cavalry. Oh, no, I didn't, because these count as cavalry. They're not ranged units. So actually getting the ranged unit upgrade tier was pointless. Pretty much going 1-to-1 heavy weaponry, heavy armor. Here comes James Raynor again. Samuro, go ahead and get back there and hit him. Drekthar. Dude, what? Chain heal? Powers a target-friendly unit with the power of the storm or a water elemental. I think I'm going to go do this storm surge. I think that's great. Heal up my boy Samuro, please, though. We have a lot of healing potential here. Oh, my goodness. I realize I have to be focusing on these banners. I was looking at Drekthar's abilities. Let's head up here while we continue to look at what Drekthar can do.
Let the killing begin.
First thing, Samuro. He doesn't have a mount ability or anything like that. He just has the advancing strikes. Blast him. Hit him. Hit him. Okay, great. We got these guys coming out. We can get some of these Farseers as well. And we needed, what, over 40 supply in order to get the...
Happy to. Work.
Slippers of Agility for Samuro to get the challenge. So he's got 2 Slippers of Agility now.
Done well.
What's here? Pot of Healing.
Ready to ride. What are your orders?
And then we got to check out Drekthar's stuff still as well. Okay, come on back down here. Again, we want to make sure that we intercept any enemy attacks so they don't just casually walk around us, because that actually is going to add significantly to the runtime here if we let that happen. Why is he constantly getting... Someone's getting... What is this? Oh, he's, that's Drekthar's buff. Gotcha. Drekthar dismounts and gains strength and armor, but reduces his mana regen. I think this is someone we're probably going to want to keep mounted up forever. To be honest, Thrall might be okay going melee a lot of the time. It's hard to say. So all the stuff that we're picking up on these heroes does remain on them. It does remain on them, which is very, very nice. It's just when you start a mission, they don't start already summoned. Something to keep in mind. Okay, so we have lots and lots of ranged units, or I'm sorry, non-ranged units, all melee, but all the collision boxes around these units are made smaller, so that actually makes things a lot easier to ensure that they're all attacking at some point. So let's keep moving on in. Dude, this poor guy, man. I'm just gonna keep wind walking him and hitting him. Challenge completed. We've done it. Make sure Samuro stays topped up. And one thing that, you know, that's really been that this campaign really does is, like, if you're willing to use the tools at your disposal, you don't have to use all of them, but as long as you're willing to engage with most of them, you're gonna be able to succeed. And it's really quite fun. I really like it a lot. And these heroes all seem like they're gonna... I would say these heroes don't seem as outright busted as some of the undead ones were, or as how some of the undead ones became. Gauntlets, that's Nazgul.
Let's go.
The undead heroes, like specifically Araj, was so strong comparatively. I'm kind of curious to see if the Horde heroes get to that level or not eventually. We'll see. Again, I'm trying to just be very thorough, make sure we look everywhere for stuff. I guess let's get some catapults, though I don't think we're really going to need those. Let's hotkey our structures. I did build some Farseers as well. So Restoration we have to actively use... Oh, okay, so we do have access to the second tier of abilities on this mission. So maybe Shaman with that Earth Armor would have been... I mean, it's arguable whether anything is ever outright better. Right? Because a lot of these things are balanced to be pretty comparable with each other. Though I will say, I don't know if the defend ability necessarily could be considered outright comparable with how good These grunts are with a chance of 15% bash plus extra damage, which is essentially a critical strike. Okay, let's head across the bridge. The towers are enormous. They're massive. Let's turn on Hunt as well as an autocast. I don't know if these spawn with this turned on at this point or not. Okay, Farseers. Sometimes it's because they clump up like this, it might be difficult to click on some units here or there. And by here or there, I mean like pretty frequently. Now, I do think that the mana regeneration is going to be huge here. So once we get deeper into this base... These guys attack pretty frequently, don't they? Once we get deeper into this base, I am going to... I need to focus down those things.
Yes, Lord. Excellent choice.
We're going to be able to push in and stop them from reinforcing these attack waves, I think. Looks like there's might be something back here, too.
Time is short, warrior. Let's get
Clarity pots.
for honor.
I mean, this Gift of Earths is very mana heavy. That's why maybe we'll just keep Thrall mounted at this point.
Honor.
Oh, hello.
Discovered, my brothers. Low regard.
Well, that's neat. So here's the thing. I think Thrall's going to still end up getting most of our healing items, though Drekthar has chain heal, so actually it might, we should make sure we spread our stat items, specifically our intelligence items, between Thrall. They both have good healing items. Chain heal is incredibly strong, so we want to make sure that we keep using that. I guess get one more or two more catapults. I guess we're just destroying the buildings. Just wipe them all out.
What you want?
Okay, get in there and then heal me. I apologize for the healing noise. That's just how it's always been, and that's how it will always be. It's unfortunate, but that's how it is.
I am.
We're basically at the end. This Great Hall's still en route.
Let's get on with it.
That guy is back. How did he get out of the gate
Regard.
when he was spawning still, I wonder? Doesn't look like there's anything up here unless there's like a secret hidden in the sheep. Okay, single target here. So what's the parade? It's Thrall, Nazgul, Drekthar. So like when I'm tabbing through, eventually I'll internalize the order that they're typically in, but I'm not quite there yet. Yeah, see, like his mana's already... It's dipping, but we can give him mana. Can we stack this up? I think it's just once. But even still, that's... It's not great, but it's not terrible. It's not great, but it's not terrible. Break some crates for me, buddy. I like the little Easter egg of finding the cultists. That's neat.
Yes.
Super hidden sheep?
Yes.
Ah, never mind. I thought it was like out right behind the trees, but it is not. So the small collision boxes let you go crazy. Like, you know, we can zoom the camera out and we can, you know, experience the battle from a mile away, and it's a little more grandiose. At the same time, it's going to be harder to really micro.
No regard, no God.
You know, and that's just sort of a trade-off. I don't think there's a right or wrong answer. So I guess we're just gonna raise this whole town because, like, we're the good orcs, or something, right? But let's just wipe out the whole town. We brought catapults. Unnecessary, but we gotta saturate this gold mine, of course.
Time is short.
Keep looking. We're looking for the gray base as well. I'm gonna destroy every structure to see if there's maybe another item in there. For King Tyrannus. Oh, I see. This is why we're destroying the whole town. Occasionally, I'm gonna try to hit those banners, but I might struggle to be able to click on them at times. Dude, that's why we took the second gold mine. It's a New Age of Jay Barino. Okay, and then these are heavy armor. Normal guard towers are heavy armor, so your siege weaponry actually isn't as effective as you might think against them. Like, it's not bad. But it's not necessarily the best option. We have Salamar. Sal Omar, the Restorer. You gotta love those arcane references. I hope Shar is watching and is able to see this. Hit him with the Q. Honestly, I would say all of the Q abilities... Oh, a chapel. All of the Q abilities in our heroes are arguably their best ones. Except maybe Thrall. Again, there are a lot of nice little areas to explore that have, you know, like, this is a distinct area that had a guy in it that you could kill for a specific item. I mean, that's kind of the story of all creeping in general, although this is the place here that seems pretty distinct, and you can, you know, get an item from them, but it's neat to have that, like, in the enemy towns. So now we have Warsong Warriors, which, if I remember correctly, and it might be the same now, they have the ability to critical strike, or they're more damage oriented. We're getting a bunch of normal items here, like scrolls and such. So, you know, we can carry these into the next mission, and we can use them to perhaps win a little bit faster. The ultimate thing is, like, I'm less concerned with, quote, winning fast. Just because there's so much to explore. I like all the references here, like, Jim Raynor, Salamar the Restorer. It's all cute stuff. All right, turn that off. We don't really need Drekthar's mana anymore anyway. And again, we just want to be diligent and make sure that we're breaking crates and barrels and... Eh? Lots of replenishment scrolls. Again, if we collect all these, we have so many heroes. We should get one of them on Thrall, because he's the only hero that we start with. But also, at the start of missions, you have to kind of make that decision of, like, how much money should I spend on getting these heroes out? We're going to have to wait. It takes time to do it, so we don't get instant benefit from it. But how much benefit do you get from a hero as opposed to getting a ton of upgrades earlier? Yeah, critical strike. 25% to do 1.5 more damage, and they do more base damage. At the same time, the grunts have a chance to do 15% more damage. 15% of a lower number, granted, but... You know, the difference isn't going to be huge. So your grunts, you pay a little more for them, but you effectively get critical strike and the potential to bash. So that's why I would say, looking at the grunts, this bash ability, I honestly should probably have the extra bonus damage from the bash ability. Just, I hate to say, like, nerf it. I really do. I really, really hate to say it. But I do think that it outclasses too much of the other melee unit options. Let's get a big fatty heal on Thrall here. Again, because I understand 25% of a higher base damage means the critical strike is better or has a higher chance and will do more damage, but not by that much. Again, you can do the calculations yourself. 27 to 33 with a 1.5 damage bonus, as opposed to grunts that are doing 22 to 24. The difference is like 10-ish, depending on the range. You know, the Warsong grunts have a higher range. Get out of there, buddy. So again though, like I think either the Warsong grunts need to do even higher base damage because they have lesser survivability, or the grunts bash ability needs to have what is essentially a crit removed from it. Maybe that's, you know, I don't want to ruin anybody's fun, though. I think it's more about balancing the opportunity cost between warriors and grunts. And again, like, at this point, too, like, I don't think I would even consider survivalists. And to be honest, I haven't really been paying attention to the map itself this whole time, because we seem to be pretty much fine, but I should, you know, take this seriously, I suppose. I mean, we're doing fine. But let's just make sure that we get rid of this altar before Jim Raynor comes back and kicks this revolution into overdrive. I think we've spread all of our items around. Please don't go crazy about missed crates and stuff. Like, I'm doing my best, but let's be honest. If it's just like a scroll of replenishment, life goes on, alright? You don't have to tell me about it. Especially if you're watching this video in, like, the year 2025. I'm not exaggerating. Like, people go back, they're watching my older videos. That's great. I'm glad people can get enjoyment out of, like, the older catalog. In fact, that pleases me a lot. Though, it is interesting when people will comment about missing stuff on a video from, like, 2017. I'm not sure. I suppose it's just catharsis. It's gotta just be catharsis, you know, when people want to point out. Give me some fake wolves, please. Want to point out that you've missed stuff in an incredibly old video. Wait, get the worker. This hunt ability, it's basically fairy. It's similar to. It's not basically. It's similar to Fairy Fire. It reduces armor, and rather than giving you permanent vision, it reduces the enemy's vision. So it's kind of like it's gonna force them into like a melee range if you're using it on ranged units, which is quite interesting. How much does it reduce vision? I guess that's maybe getting a little too into the weeds. We can just assume that it's enough that it would impact ranged units if they don't have another unit giving them vision. So we went a little overboard, but if you recall the undead, campaign, the result of most of these missions is going to be us going overboard, and that's because, again, the real fun here is discovering all of the cool additions and maybe trying different types of builds that focus on different types of units.
I am the war chief.
For the sake of things.
We found where they're holding Grom, but the area is protected by fortified guard towers.
Then destroy them. Hellscream must be freed.
Okay, well, these actually have fortified armor, and we have the ability to take care of these. It's interesting how this is a different faction, and they're called Stormwind Reinforcements. They have different portraits and seemingly different models. That's really neat. Yeah, 27 to 33. It just doesn't. It's just not enough more. Okay, get in there. I see why they're fortified. I think this is like you have to bring ranged units here, and oh no, never mind. It looked like I didn't think I could actually target those unless it was my splash damage from the catapults that destroyed those barricades. I didn't think I could actually select those to destroy them.
Grom, are you all right? I'm fine, little brother. Luckily, they only injured my pride.
Great, because we're getting out of here now. We're leaving the human lands for good.
Finally, follow me. I have an idea. We can set sail on the humans' own ships.
Perfect. But we'll need to wait for the rest of the Horde. The Horde is assembled, War Chief. We await only your command.
Now, go, young thrall. Sail west to the lands of Kalimdor. It is there that you will find your destiny. It is there that your people's salvation will be assured.
Well, would you look at that? Good stuff. Great stuff. Thanks again, SevenBlood. I'm enjoying this, and if this is... I hope this is the kind of series people like. Again, I spent a lot of time at the beginning kind of reviewing all the different new options and sort of deciding which ones are either really fun and or really good. I don't want to optimize the fun out of it in the sense that I'm not going to necessarily just pick what seems to be the best thing every single time. We're going to try our best to try some of the different stuff. There's only 5 maps, so there's no way that we'll be able to necessarily get to everything. I'm curious to know if SevenBlood is intrigued to take the improvements with how the meta currency, the perk points, if you will, take those changes here from Exodus the Horde and then update Invasion of Kalimdor. I think that would be just a 100% positive change. Granted, I think Invasion of Kalimdor is pretty much fine the way it is, except rather than doing it in mission, you have like interludes where you pick all of your choices before you move into the next map. So it's a little clunkier in that sense because you have twice the amount of maps in the whole campaign, where half of it are like setup maps. But in any case, I think it would be cool to see that updated, but at the same time, I also really like new Revamp campaigns. So whatever you're choosing to work on SevenBlood, keep it up. Thanks everyone for watching. I'll see you next time. Please click the like button if you liked the video, of course. I wouldn't ask you to click it if you didn't like the video. But if you did like the video, just a gentle reminder. Also, subscribe if you like what you see, if you want to see more of it in the future. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.